Attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes.
It is a hot summer Monday evening here in the Bronx, and it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Detroit Tigers in the first of three from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. While the Yankees have to turn the page, an ugly weekend in Boston. They got swept in a 4-game set. How do you do that? With pitching. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup. The Home Depot working on a win pitching matchup. Casey Mize will go for the Tigers. Yankees actually beat Mize in Detroit last week. Ryan Weathers goes for the Yankees, and he beat the Tigers last week in Detroit and looked good doing it.
He's been good all year. I mean, he has 3-5 going into the game, but he's pitched much better than that. Fastball pitcher, but boy, he has learned his changeup and he has learned his breaking ball, which makes him a complete pitcher. He is a guy that you want on the hill to stop this losing streak.
Last two starts, he's done well against the White Sox. No decision, 6 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run. And against the Tigers, he went 6, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned. Struck out 6, and he walked 2. Well, what kind of distance will he give them? The Yankees have a different bullpen. David Bednar not with them today. Paternity leave. How will they eat up the innings? Who will close? Meredith Marakovich talks to Aaron Boone about that next.
Introducing Subway.
Fans are filing into Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, getting ready to watch some Monday Night Baseball. Game 1 of the 3-game series between the Yankees and the Tigers is set to get underway in just a little bit. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovich. The Yankees are going to be without their closer, David Bednar, for the next couple of days. He's been placed on the paternity list. Jake Bird was recalled from AAA. Earlier, I asked Aaron Boone about the current state of this Yankees bullpen.
I feel like that's one of the areas that they talk about a lot on our team, but, you know, the reality is they've been right in the middle of us winning a lot of games and different guys playing meaningful roles. We got to navigate it a little different way and get into the finish line. So different guys got to step up in their pockets to do their job. And for the most part, we've been doing that down there. And, you know, a little more challenging, obviously, with Bus out for a couple days.
And Boone pretty much should have his full arsenal of Yankees arms available to him, with maybe the exception of Paul Blackburn, who's pitched in back-to-back games. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Ryan Weathers gets the ball. First pitch next on Yes.
The Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyOffers.com. By Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. And by Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees. Well, this begins a 7-day, 6-game homestand for the Yankees. 3 against the Tigers. Thursday's an off day, and then 3 over the holiday weekend against the Minnesota Twins. And the Yankees will hit the road again, 4 big games against the Tampa Bay Rays in St. Pete. So obviously you have to get over what plagued them in Boston, where they got swept. And right now, Paul, the Yankees are essentially playing depth, and sometimes when you play depth, it starts to get to you.
Well, they've been a streaky team all year, and you're just going to have to figure out what is causing, you know, the down times, and you kind of cut those in half and go on with your good times. It wasn't, last week, everything looked like it was perfect on paper. All of a sudden, a couple guys go cold, a couple big hits here or there. You don't catch the ball, and now you're in a losing streak. Time to turn it around. Now you're at home.
And the Yankees take the field. And this is the Tigers batting order that's going to face Ryan Weathers. Matt Vierling will lead off. Then it's Dylan Dingler will catch Kevin McGonigal at third. Spencer Torkelson cleans up. He's the first baseman. Julio Lee is the second baseman, batting fifth. Batting sixth and DHing Jahmai Jones. Zach McKinstry at short. Ben Malgeri is the right fielder. And James Outman in center field is going to bat ninth. And they will face the Yankee left-hander Ryan Weathers, his 16th start, 3-5, 3.95, 95 strikeouts, in 86 2/3. He's given up too many home runs with 16. Let's check out the Nissan Pitchers Scouting Report.
That's you again. Yeah, last outing, which was Wednesday in Detroit. It was a good one. 6 innings, only gave up 1 earned run, and he got the win. And slow it down. He's always been a high-powered fastball pitcher, but this year his breaking balls have changeups have been really good. 173 against his breaking balls, 191 against his changeup. Top 10. Don't forget, he is a strikeout pitcher. 8th in the strikeout percentage in the American League with 26.9. You again, that's kind of what you say when you look to your right when I'm in the booth. What's up with that? That's a scouting report?
That's the scouting report. The defense brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Bellinger, Jones, and Dominguez. Left to right in the outfield. In the infield, it's Caballero, Volpe, Chisholm, and Goldschmidt. Third to first. Austin Wells behind the plate with Ben Rice getting the start as the DH. Alfonso Marquez, the crew chief, and also the home plate umpire. Let's take a look at the umpire scouting report. Brought to you by your local Kia dealers. He's considered hitter-friendly, and that's pinned right to the end. 51 calls have been challenged, 31 overturned. Calls fewer high strikes and fewer. They took that off too fast. I don't know what they did.
He's a hitter.
I'm not even going to fake it. I am not going to fake it. So there you go. The rest of the crew, Mike Estabrook at first, Lance Barrett at second, and Malachi Moore is at third. Tigers struggling, 35 and 49. Vierling is ready. Weathers is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch up and away, and we're underway.
That's the greatest line you've had in 25. I'm not even faking it here.
Well, I mean, really, if they're going to take it off before I could read it, I'm not going to fake it. I'm not Evelyn Wood. You older people know what I meant. You know who Evelyn Wood is, Paul?
Nope.
Speed reader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she used to teach speed reading.
I wasn't Evelyn Wood in my best days.
You're more Wilbur Wood.
Yeah. Knuckleballer.
There's a strike. 1-2. Chisholm shades up the middle. Deep at third is Caballero, about 8 feet off the line. They play dead straight away in the outfield. Vierling 7 for his last 47. That's 149. And the Tigers last year were really good against left-handed starters. This year, not so much. It is because their right-handed hitters have not been hitting that well. Right back to Weathers. 1 down.
Well, you got to field your position, Michael, and there's an easy way to get a first out. Weathers pretty good mechanics, so he's always facing the hitter at the end of the play. Makes it an easy one.
There's Dylan Dingler. He's in a little bit of a slump, but he's having a great year behind the plate. Career highs in home runs, 19, and RBIs, 58. We're not even at the All-Star game. And he's, in all likelihood, going to the All-Star game. 1-0.
Well, when you go around the league, Michael, and you see numbers like that from the catching position, I mean, what an advantage, other than like Raleigh last year when he had 60 home runs. But, you know, the catcher's position has turned into so much of a defense first, where you're losing the offensive part of it.
There's A.J. Hinch at 999 career wins. One and two.
Well, we went through in the pregame just how much that has helped him, learning to throw that changeup, moving down on the way to righties.
One, two. 2-2. Tigers rough on the road. They're 12 and 28. How close was this? It was inside. A 300 winning percentage. That's the lowest winning percentage on the road of any team in baseball. Line down the left field line. It's a base hit. And it's going to go to the wall. Dingler will pick up a 1-out double.
Well, you talk Dingler, his offensive numbers tremendous. The problem with the sweeper, the breaking ball right here, if it's not thrown correctly, it goes right into the barrel of a righty, where that changeup kind of goes down and away. If you don't throw that breaking ball exactly where you want to a right-handed hitter, it's going to get hit hard.
So here is 21-year-old Kevin McGonigal. .394 on base percentage. Last week he was 4 for 14 against the Yankees in that 3-game set. Yankees took 2 out of 3.
21
just
years
misses.
old. 21 years old. Rookie. First round pick in 2023. And he's pretty polished as a player. You can tell he's going to be a good one.
Off the glove of Wells, and it goes all the way to the backstop, allowing Dingler to move the third.
Two-seamer trying to get under his hands, but it kind of got away from him. And Wells not able to keep it from going to the backstop.
Yankees trying to cut off the run early. They bring the infield in. That scored a pass ball. 2-0. 3-0.
Just looking at McGonigal. Kind of a whirlwind to start the season. I mean, you make the team as a rookie out of spring training, and 2 weeks later you sign a $150 million contract. It's just unbelievable the way he started the year.
Still not a finished product defensively, but offensively he's been pretty good at 21. Dingler off third with 1 out. Infield in. Just underway at the stadium, Yankees Tigers. Three-two.
Weathers has gotten to where he wants, and that's with 2 strikes. So try to put him away with a strikeout. You've got that big breaking ball. If you can get it on the outside corner, or the two-seamer under his hands to try to keep it in the infield.
And the payoff. Swing and a miss. Got him.
Well, he went to plan B, Michael. He went the two-seamer under his hands, and he did get the strikeout. So a big out for Weathers. See the two-seam grip and how it kind of runs back in under the hands of a lefty. Very hard pitch to hit. It's a lefty with 2 strikes. You're really trying to stay inside the ball and not give away that outside corner for the breaking ball, and that's an effective pitch if you can get it there.
So here's Torkelson. Two outs. The Yankee infield could back up. Check the swing. Mike Estabrook said yes, he did check.
You got Caballero at third base all the way on the outfield grass. So Dingler really can get off his third base as far as he wants.
Hey. 1-1. Torkelson got off to a slow start, but 9 for his last 29 over his last 9 games, with a .412 on base percentage. 2-1. Tigers this year 9-17 against left-handed starters. Last year 25-17. Ground ball up the middle and past. Diving Volpe for a base hit. Torkelson with an RBI single. Scoring is Dingler, and the Tigers strike first. It's 1-0.
Volpe got kind of a hop. It looked like it hit the lip of the grass. Don't know if he would have knocked it down. Ball hit hard kind of up the middle, but you see it kind of come up on him. Not able to glove it. Detroit on the board here in the first. Yeah,
that was 106.7 off the bat.
Yeah, ball was hit hard. You know, as an infielder, you're always taught to try to knock it down first. That ball was not gloved, and no play at first base.
Oh, and 1 on Lee. Driven into right center field. That is going to be in there for a base hit. Cut off on the warning track by Jones. It'll be a double for Lee. Torkelson will stop at third. Cutting it off on the warning track saved a run.
Yeah, he took a good angle of this. This ball was just hit in the right spot. You see Lee down. I don't know if he struggled, but this ball stays right there. Kind of jam shot. So there was a little air underneath it, so he kind of went back on it to not let it get to the wall, knowing he could save a run.
And the slide, I think, is what got him, and the Tigers are out looking at him right now. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it looked like his shoulder kind of caught. You know, early in the game, the infield is extremely wet. And you see how that hand just kind of digs in, and it just jars your shoulder.
And they can ill afford to lose him. Been red hot of late, hitting .356 in his last 15 games. Maybe it's just a case, Paul, of getting the wind knocked out.
Yeah, you kind of, like I said, when your hand sticks because the infield's a little wet, it just jars your shoulder. But to your point, Michael, I mean, he's been filling in. Gleyber Torres out again on the IL. He's been filling in at second base. Yeah, that
the shoulder,
right hand went all the way behind his body. It's another difference, Michael. If we do that, we're not coming up. We're not getting up. See how that it just kind of sticks and goes behind him. It's just a good way to really rip your shoulder.
And I think you hit it because they water the dirt right before the game. All teams do, and you just don't slide as easily. So he kind of stuck.
I talk about it a lot, Michael, but it is one of my pet peeves. If I'm a minor league coordinator, you're sliding feet first. It's far less injuries. You don't get there any faster. You're susceptible to so many things going wrong.
Here's Jones, Jahmai Jones. And when we tell you about their struggles against lefties, one of the reasons could be Jones. Jones had a really good year last year, hitting .287. If you look at him now, 141. He's getting booed constantly in Detroit. One and one. Big spot early for Weathers here. 1 run already in.
Yeah, you're definitely trying to minimize the damage here. You've given up a run. Okay, that's probably not going to beat you, but this is a big out here. Make sure that's all they get. Basically throw any pitch you want here, Michael, as long as it's located. You know, the fastball has not been thrown yet. You've had a good breaking ball and then a good changeup. So if you're Jones, your head's spinning right now. What do I cover? What do I look for?
Second and third, 2 outs. 2 and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, 1 run in. Swing and a miss. On the slider, Jones goes down. Tigers get a run on 3 hits. They leave 2. Yankees coming back. And now it's the Yankees' turn against Casey Mize. Ben Rice will lead off, then Bellinger and Goldschmidt follow. Cleaning up Chaz Chisholm Jr., Jason Dominguez, and Anthony Volpe after that. And the bottom third of the order, Spencer Jones, Austin Wells, and Jose Caballero. Take a look at Casey Mize, his 12th start, 2-5. The record not really indicative of how he's pitched. A strikeout per inning, just 4 home runs. Let's check out the Nissan Pitcher Scouting Report.
Well, all that jazz. Had a really good game going last Tuesday against the Yankees until Jazz Chisholm in the 6th inning hit a 2-run homer, ended up being the game winner. An all-star or IL. He was an all-star last year. Could have been a repeat this year. Really good numbers again, but he has had 2 stints on the IL. An abductor issue and complete flip. I mean, your lefties last year hit him well. This year, 174, 290 against righties. So it's been a total turnaround since last year.
Ben Rice takes up and away. Ben was 0 for 14 in Boston. Bellinger was 1 for 14 in Boston. And a strike. Ben's really in his first extended slump of the year, 4 for 35. That's 114 in his last 9 games, seeing his average drop from 294 to 272. Fly ball on the left side. McGonigal gives it a look. It's in the seats.
And Michael, Yankees hitting coach James Rounson was asked about this struggling Yankees offense as well as Ben Rice. And he said, I don't think guys are necessarily pressing, including Ben. When you miss the caliber of a hitter that Judge is, there is going to be an adjustment period. And for the most part, he feels as though guys have done a good job stepping up without Judge in the lineup, but said you are going to have stretches like this. As far as Rice is concerned, he said he has already been a threat in the league with or without Judge. Pitchers game plan against a guy like Ben Rice. Maybe it's tougher for him now, but he is capable. He's ready for it, and he'll find a way to bounce back as he is retired there.
And he looks at a called third strike, and it's true. He hit when Judge first went down, and they do game plan for him. But after a while, a lot of the effort of game planning for Judge now moves toward everybody else, and they're pitched a lot differently. And Bellinger hits a high pop-up on the left side. Long run for McGonigal, and he makes the play for the second out. Check out the defense brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers, and we'll take a closer look at Kevin McGonigal, our CarShield defensive player profile. 7 defensive runs saved this season. That's tied for 9th in the American League. And remember, he's really a shortstop by trade. He's playing third base because you have McKinstry over at short. Here's Goldschmidt, and a strike. In the 4-game sweep at Boston, Yankees scored just 9 runs. Hit 133, only 5 extra base hits. One and two.
Talk about a flip-flop, though. I mean, you're looking at Boston Red Sox, who usually just beat everybody by offense. And this year they have pretty solid starting pitching and some guys in the pen, but they just don't score the runs that they've accustomed to. So you go to Fenway Park, you expect these high-scoring games, and it has not been the case this year.
Two. Swing and a miss. Strong inning for Mize as the Yankees go down in order, 1, 2, 3. Yes, is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Well, Weathers ran into some trouble in the first inning. He allowed 3 hits, 1 run scored. 2 runs were stranded at second and third when Jones struck out. So now it'll be the bottom third of the Tiger order against the Yankee lefty McKinstry, Malgiri, and Outman. Foul back.
Think of McKinstry on the bus, coming to the ballpark. You know, am I playing tonight? All right, now where am I playing? He's like Mr. Super Utility guy. I mean, he plays second, short, third base, could play the outfield. So it's like, am I in the lineup? And what glove should I take out there? It's just amazing to me how that's become a big thing in baseball as he lines one down the left field line. Bellinger does a good job of keeping him at first base.
Fourth hit against Weathers.
I always thought that to be able to go the other way against a lefty was the most important thing at having the ability to hit a lefty, is being able to hit the ball to left field and not pull off.
So here's Malgiri. Made his major league debut against the Yankees on Tuesday. First pitch he ever saw in the big leagues, had a single.
I think Cam Schlittman was rooting for him. You know,
Oh,
they
he's
went
a
to
buddy.
college together, right?
Went to Northeastern. The guy, I don't know if he was rooting for him. There's the first hit. Didn't wait too long, Paul.
That's the best thing that could possibly happen. You see something, you're so nervous. You see something over in the strike zone. Put it in play and get it over with.
26 years old, so he waited a while for this opportunity and hit lefties very well in the minors. So he started in right field against Rodon and Weathers last week. Then they played 4 games against the Astros. Astros started 4 right-handed starters. He didn't play at all.
Well, we talked about it. Weathers extremely good at holding runners.
And Paul, you asked whether or not Cam Schlittler was rooting for Malgiri. Well, he actually had the opportunity to catch up with him in the outfield in Comerica prior to the game, congratulated him, said welcome to the big leagues. Now I asked him whether or not he wishes he would have had the opportunity to face his former teammate, and he said, he's a right-handed bat. He probably wouldn't have been a good matchup for him. So we shall see whether or not he's in the lineup tomorrow for what should be a fantastic pitching matchup between Cam Schlittler and Tarek Skubal.
Strike 3, Malgiri down looking. Cooking up something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. Called strikeout leaders in the majors this season. Mizorowski with 41, McClain of the Mets 40, Gavin Williams of the Guardians is tied with Weathers at 35. As a base hit into right field off the bat of Outman. Going to third is McKinstry, and the throw not in time. So first and third with one man out for the Tigers.
Well, went for the breaking ball, but got it up in the strike zone. And when it's up in the strike zone, lefty has a good look at it to see. See, this just kind of hangs high in the strike zone, which gives him the ability to really just hook it into the hole over there, with Goldschmidt holding him on first base. Ingas comes up throwing, no chance, but kept it down enough where Volpe could have cut the ball and keep him at first base.
Matt Vierling takes a strike. So 5 hits in an inning and a third against Weathers. Gave up 6 hits in 6 innings against Detroit on June 24th. McKinstry at third. Outman is at first. Slow roller. Caballero, a bad throw off the glove of Goldschmidt. Moving to third is Outman. McKinstry scores, and it's 2-0 Detroit.
Well, these are the outs, Michael. You were kind of talking with Nancy Newman in the pregame that just have to be played. You cannot give any team, good, bad, or indifferent, extra outs. I mean, no chance to turn two here, so you've got to make sure that throw to first base brings Goldschmidt off the bag, and then not able to glove it.
And that's an E5. Vierling will get an RBI. And Outman moves to third. So not a great beginning for Weathers and the Yanks. Yankees have allowed 15 unearned runs in the last 9 games. They're 2-7 in those games. You know, the first game in Boston kind of set the tone where they made 4 errors that were actually scored errors, and then they made 4 more mistakes that weren't scored errors, but 6 unearned runs by the Red Sox, and Schlittler ends up taking a loss with his ERA going down. And you've got to play cleaner ball than that. You know, with the offense struggling the way it's been struggling, people having to play out of position because of the injuries, the margin of error is razor thin. You've got to make the plays.
Yeah, again, the teams you're supposed to beat, and you're looking at this time in their schedule, it's if you play good baseball. If you play the type of baseball that got you in first place in the first place. And, you know, the last week or so, the Yankees have just not done that.
That's to Jones. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Outman. The throw is cut off by Goldschmidt. It's a sac fly for Dingler. And now the Tigers are up 3-0.
Well, again, I mean, a misplay, and then he ends up at third base, and then situational hitting, and all of a sudden you're starting to throw runs up on the board, and when your offense is struggling, every one of those runs looks bigger and bigger.
Here's McGonigal. Oh, 0-1. And Weathers has not had great run support this season. They score over 2 runs more per game for the rest of the rotation than they do for Weathers. 0-2. One and 2 on the rookie.
Talked about that two-seamer under his hands, the first at bat, and then that's in the back of your mind for the rest of the game against Weathers if you're McGonigal. And you know, you saw that front hip open up, tried to get that breaking ball down and away, was not able to hit the outside corner.
Left side out of play. Three runs on 5 hits for Detroit. Runner at first with 2 men out here in the second. And there's a base hit to right center field. Vierling will go to third. The throw comes into second. And it's first and third for the Tigers. Still 2 outs.
Weathers is having one of those nights where he's been able to get ahead of people and not put them away. Again, there's a changeup here, and it looks like a two-seamer, but allows him to stay in there and not get beat. Just line it to right center field. It's a pretty solid swing right there. I mean, to be 21 years old and digging in that Yankee Stadium, you got a long career ahead of you.
Here's Spencer Torkelson. And he chases Bierling back to third, does Wells. 6 hits in these first 2 innings against Weathers. Torkelson had 1 of them, an RBI in the first. Two and 0. Left a changeup up.
Going to throw his 50th pitch already. Really struggling to get through these first couple innings.
Three and 0 on Torkelson.
It's almost like he has gotten into long counts on every hitter, where he's shown them every pitch he has to the point where they've seen it all. And that's why you're seeing good swings at the end of the count from these Tiger hitters.
And that's ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Lee.
A good visit right here. Matt Blake, just, relax. You've got 2 outs. You got 1 pitch away from being in the dugout. Give him a little rest here. But on the other hand, you're looking for the Tigers trying to put a knockout punch here.
So the pitching coach talking things over with Weathers. A rough beginning for the left-hander. Yankees just came off the road. They started the trip with a 2 out of 3 series victory over the Tigers. Then they ran into the trouble that we've detailed in Boston. And now the Tigers have the bases loaded here in the second. 2 men out. And Yerry De Los Santos beginning to throw in the Yankee pen. Grounded softly to third, and it's foul. Off the end of the bat, foul. 0-2. 53 pitches for Weathers. Lee had a double first time up. Fastball upstairs, 1-2. And the pitch. A base hit through the left side. Bierling scores. Here comes McGonigal. He scores. It's a 2-run single for Lee. And the Tigers are pouring it on. It is 5-0 Detroit.
Well, you're seeing the Tigers do something they haven't done pretty much all year, and that's just to continue to string together hits, good at bats. Weathers not able to put people away, pitching behind in the count. In a breaking ball to a righty, dangerous pitch when you leave it out over the middle of the plate. It's hammered into the left side of the infield. Cody Bellinger does what he can.
And that is going to do it for Ryan Weathers. And a very restless crowd here in the Bronx. 14 batters faced by Weathers. He gave up 7 hits. Now, this was his worst performance in a year that's been pretty good. Leaves runners on first and second, 5 runs in. All right, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture is of Maya, who attended her first Yankees game recently and would be a little warm if she wore that jacket tonight. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. 4 games with the Yankees, been up and down between the Yankees and AAA. 1.35 ERA. And he's going to face Kerry Carpenter. So they pinch hit for Jones in the second inning. Very quick hook by A.J. Hinch. Find out a little odd. You're up 5-0. Yankees have 3 lefties in the bullpen, so you're going to face lefties again. Why would you take out Jones in the second inning when you have the lead?
Well, Jones has struck offensively. His first at bat, obviously a strikeout, and you're looking to really just put together a huge inning. You've already put 4 on the board. You're hoping for a big hit right here to probably take the Yankees out of the game.
Well, this is the second shortest start by a Yankee this year, other than a 1-inning start for Paul Blackburn in a bullpen game on May 7th against the Rangers. One and 2 on the pinch hitter Carpenter. 12 home runs, 35 ribbies for Carpenter. First and second. 2 men out here in the second. It's 5-0 Tigers. Line left field. On the run is Bellinger, and he makes the play for the final out. Tigers send 9 to the plate. They score 4 runs.
Welcome back to Yankee Stadium, where the Tigers lead the Yankees 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is going to lead things off this inning. He's back in the lineup after getting ejected in the series finale against the Red Sox. Jazz actually spoke at his locker about that ejection earlier today and said that he talked with his manager, Aaron Boone, as well as his teammates, and he understands that he needs to be a better teammate in that spot. He cannot afford to get thrown out of the game. In fact, the ejection kind of caught him by surprise, guys. He thought he was going to get an equipment fine for throwing his helmet. He didn't even realize at first that he had been ejected, but regardless of the circumstance, he knows he is not helping his team in a close game by getting thrown out of the game. Jazz said he is going to try to be better when he is out there on the field. And Michael, he was also asked, in watching the video, do you acknowledge that you swung? And he said no.
I agree with him, and I know that always used to bother you, Paul, when the home plate umpire would make that call and not check the base umpire.
Well, in my mind, the home plate umpire should be following the path of the ball, whether it's a strike or ball, not to see if your bat head goes out in front. You've got a guy down there with an open look, and you don't have near the arguments if you check to third base.
Swing and a miss. Now, that doesn't excuse him for getting thrown out and slamming his helmet down, because they certainly did not need that. That'll bring up Dominguez. Play FanDuel's Daily Dingo for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Dominguez plus 600, Caballero plus 1,000. Jason 2 for 14 in the 4 games in Boston. A lot of 1-fers and 2-fers up and down the lineup in that Red Sox series.
Yeah, that's not when you want to look as a manager and think, man, we're going into this series really hitting, because there were a lot of zeros, a lot of 1s, a lot of strikeouts.
That's challenged.
Ball's overturned. It's a strike.
Powered by T-Mobile. Popped up on the left side. McGonigal. 2 outs.
How easy that play looks. If you watch the end of that ball almost came out of his glove.
There's Anthony Volpe. Last night, Sonny Gray took a no-hitter into the 8th inning, broken up by Rosario. There were 2 other games in the Red Sox series where the Yankees were hitless in the first 4 innings. So that's the first time the Yankees have been hitless in the first 4 innings of 3 starts in the series since April 30th through May 2nd in 1963 in LA against the Angels or Anaheim. Another challenge. He gets it right again. Not by a lot, but by enough. So 0-2 on Volpe. Volpe checks his swing.
Talked about Mize, and he was an all-star last year. Has had some stints on the IL this year, but he's still sub-3 ERA going into this inning. So when he is on the mound, he's good.
Well, the Tigers have some decisions to make because Mize is going to be a free agent. Skubal's going to be a free agent, and if they're really out of it, those guys would command something on the trade market. Hit sharply. Oh, what a play by McKinstry. And they get Volpe for the final out. He took a base hit away from Volpe. A brilliant play by McKinstry. Sells out. Gets the hop. Gets to his feet and fires a strike to first to get Anthony. Telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. 5-0 Tigers as we go to the 3rd. Ryan Weathers has been knocked out. Yuri De Los Santos got the final out of the 2nd, and he starts off the 3rd as McKinstry skies out to Bellinger for the first out. Yankee bullpen, a little bit of a different look. We told you at the start. David Bednar not with the team. He is on paternity leave, so the Yankees call back up Jake Bird. There's Ben Malgeri. And a strike. Take a look at the Yankees bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Paul Blackburn would seem to be out after pitching in 2 straight games. Everybody else would be available.
A good time to see the bullpen budget here in the top of the 3rd inning, huh?
And they're not quite sure who would close tonight if need be. Clark Schmidt starting to throw against hitters. Garrett Cole had a good finish against the Red Sox, not a great start. And the Yankee starting rotation has carried this team all year. It's been the strength of the team, but you're always going to go through little peaks and valleys, and right now they're in a little bit of a valley.
Yeah, the pitching, I mean, on paper is phenomenal. And, you've got Max Fried, who I think is going to throw a simulated game here pretty soon.
Backhanded by Volpe.
Should only get better.
And picked by Goldschmidt. 2-way. Meredith, you have more information on Clark Schmidt?
Yes, he's actually going to face hitters for the first time since undergoing Tommy John surgery on Wednesday. And Paul, you were correct. Max Fried is going to face hitters tomorrow. He's expected to throw the equivalent of 2 innings in that session tomorrow. Aaron Boone was asked whether or not Fried will go out on a rehab assignment after that, and he said no decision on that has been made. Also on the injury front, Michael, Trent Grisham is expected to start in a rehab game either tomorrow or the next day. He's expected back on this homestand, as is Ryan McMahon.
And Marin, I think, we talked in the dugout before the game, and I think I heard that Stanton might be part of the hitters to face Max Fried tomorrow.
Yes, he is expected to step in the box. Aaron Boone told me that he started his running program again. He's been facing high velocity, so now he'll face a real live arm in Max Fried tomorrow, and I would assume that he would probably face Clark Schmidt then on Wednesday as well.
We had some kind of show down there today.
Really?
Meredith knows it all.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael, for those that didn't see it, it's the Yankees lineup show on at 5:30.
Backing up, Goldschmidt fields, and he flips to De Los Santos, who works a 1-2-3 inning here in the third. After 2.5, it's 5-0 Detroit. It's now time for a segment that we like to call, Ezra, what do we like to call it?
How about that?
Yeah, it's about Katie Mize. At age 11, he begged his mother never to buy him an Xbox or PlayStation so he would not get distracted from baseball. How about that? A serious coffee lover, he runs Casey's Cafe, a popular coffee setup for teammates, and he spent 9 days trekking through Costa Rica during a recent offseason to completely unplug from North American sports culture.
Wait a minute, you're playing in the major leagues and you want to get away from sports culture?
Yeah,
right.
Needed to decompress.
Wow. He might be one of those guys who are like walking barefooted, grounding himself too, right?
A lot of people do that. Jones rips one to right field. First Yankee base runner. It's going to roll to the wall. And Jones breaks it down and will start the inning with a double.
Well, to get back in this game, you're going to need some base hits and some base runners and probably a big fly, but this is a good way to start the inning. See, that four-seamer just kind of leaked back out over the plate, which allows Spencer Jones to hammer it to right field. I think he kind of broke it down. You go base to base when you're down 5-0. Just off the end of the bat.
Here's Austin Wells. Austin 2 for 21 since coming off the IL. Had a rough series in Boston, 1 for 11, but Aaron Boone said after the game, we're seeing good things, and good things should start happening. Likes the swing path, and Wells said that they changed the swing path a little. He was too flat, Paul, and so now they have a little bit of an uppercut.
Well, to use that uppercut to an advantage, you've got to hit the ball out in front of the plate, which is where the ball is going to be launched. But by doing that, you have to commit to it early, and you're going to see some strikeouts with it too.
Malachi Moore said he checked his swing, so still alive. Very close. Swing and a miss. Wells down on strikes.
Again, by committing early, trying to get the ball out front and launch it, this off-speed split finger way out in front, and you see the slight uppercut. But I always thought that when you were struggling, you start up the middle. You stay on the ball a little bit longer. You don't try to come out of a slump trying to launch the ball.
Foul ball. Do you agree with what our colleague Joe Jory said, that watching Wells, he's in between, he's late on the fastball, he's too early on the breaking pitch?
Yeah, and that becomes a mental thing where, you absolutely start guessing with a pitcher. You feel like when you do get a pitch, you foul it off, and then, then you're looking change up and you get a fastball. It just all kind of snowballs, and that's when your mind kind of takes over. And your mechanics are not where they should be, so you're just in a flat-out mess. This is, if you break it down, Austin Wells has just had a nightmare of a season, mentally trying to put up with this, and you see that top hand just kind of flip over, which means you're way out in front of the baseball.
Fly ball right field. Now Jerry makes the play. Now it's interesting the tack that Wells is taking, though. He said, listen, he wants to be a better hitter. He knows he has to be. He said, but he put so much into the other side of the ball that if he can guide a pitcher through a scoreless 8th and 9th and they win the game, he feels good about things.
Well, I mean, catching obviously is a huge part of the game, calling the game, keeping the pitchers in order. But, you know, offense is what wins games, too. I mean, you've got to put runs up on the board. And Austin Wells, if you look at his numbers, that's not typical for him. He's a much better hitter than that.
There's Ben Rice. Lofted into left field. Vierling is back. He's there, puts it away, and the leadoff double by Jones is wasted. We go to the 4th. Final phase of the 2026 Konami eBaseball MLB All-Star Ballot is now live. Scan the QR code on your screen to vote or visit MLB.com/vote. Bellinger's in play. That guy's leading the voting despite being on the IL. Ben Rice in play at first base as well. And that one is a base hit the other way off the bat of Vierling. First base runner allowed by De Los Santos.
Well, Detroit, when they got off the bus today, they put on their hitting shoes. It seems like every swing is right there, lining the ball from line to line.
The Yankees have not had a lot of these where the bullpen comes in early. The Yankees are 5th in the majors in innings per start at 5.47, but just an inning and 2/3 for Ryan Weathers. And these are the type of outings, if you're De Los Santos, you have to get really nervous about. Because you give them the innings that they need to chew up some innings, and you're really of no use to them over the next couple of games, and they'll bring up somebody that is.
Usually happens.
1-1 on Dylan Dingler. A double, a run scored, and a sac fly. High fly ball, left field, on the run. Bellinger on the track at the wall, and he can't handle it. It falls down to the warning track. Vierling will go to 3rd, and Dingler is on 2nd. We'll see how they score it. That's usually a play that Bellinger makes every single time.
Yeah, he got to the wall and then started going horizontal with it, and that's what you want to do, and it just didn't go up the baseball. It looked like he was almost kind of peeking when he was going to hit the wall and kind of giving to it, and just did not make the play. And you're right, Michael. I mean, this is a play that Cody Bellinger makes in his sleep.
We'll see how they score. It should be an E7, but you never know. Yankees bring the infield in for McGonigal, 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out. Fouled away. And it is an E7 on Cody. One and one on McGonigal. A strikeout and a single to right center, and a run scored. There's so many people, you watch McGonigal play at 21, they're amazed at his pitch recognition. And we find out in the story when we were in Detroit that his dad jerry-rigged a pitching machine that could throw splitters and breaking balls, and he'd have to identify them as a very young kid, and he's taken that skill into the big leagues. There's a base hit to left field. Vierling scores. Here comes Dingler. Here's the throw, and it's cut off. The throw to second, not in time. 2-run score for the Tigers. It's 7-0 Detroit. And now Jazz is down. A little bit of a collision with Jazz and McGonigal.
Well, McGonigal went in hard. The ball was cut. No chance at home plate. A lot of knees and ankles and all kind of things can get banged up there.
Were you surprised that was cut? I thought they had a chance.
Well, yeah, you're trying to get outs here. Cody Bellinger usually has an accurate arm, but let's see how it ended up. Yeah, helmet right to the left knee. That's just staying in there and poking it the other way, understanding the situation to put the ball in play to the left side, pick up a couple runs. Yeah, that it looked like the ball was tailing a little bit, but it did look like there was going to be a play at the plate.
Scored a 2-run single. McGonigal goes to second on the throw as Tim Hill gets up. 7-0 Tigers. Paul, I almost got the sense that Bellinger was shocked that Dingler was waved home because he didn't come up throwing.
He usually doesn't even look, and he knows where he's going with the ball. You're right. He did kind of peek, and you know, that kind of takes your momentum away from the throw, and then you don't. Nothing's in rhythm, and you saw that ball starting to tail towards the first baseman.
Oh, strike. 1-2.
You see, usually right off the get-go, I mean, you don't even peek up. It looks like he caught the ball, then looked up and saw if he was going to have a play or not, instead of just going through the play. And right now, everything going wrong for the Yankees.
And if you took another look at that replay, Dingler was maybe 20 feet from third base when it was fielded by Bellinger. So very surprising they waved him. Joey Cora is the third base coach, veteran third base coach for the Tigers. Two-two. So he fields the ball right there. Not even rounding the bag, Paul.
And he's waving him all the way. It just took him a little bit of time, and you see the ball starting to tail. So Caballero cutting it, trying to get a sure out at second, and was late there. I mean, you're talking about a guy who just understands the situation. McGonigal, 21 years old. See the ball out there, just poke it the other way. Don't try to do anything more than what you need, and that's a single. The plate at 2. Look at his front foot, comes all the way across the line and cuts him off in front of the plate.
High fly ball, deep right. Dominguez back on the track. Will make the play in front of the wall. Tagging is McGonigal. He'll go to third.
Boy, a little one-sided so far here, Michael. I mean, every at-bat's been good. They're running the bases, and the Yankees just can't put a damper on this offense. It just stays down, stays through the ball, just lines it the other way.
Yankees bring the infield in, runner at third with 1 out. They're down 7-0. We're in the 4th inning. Here's Lee. Pops it up. Coming in is Dominguez. And he and Jazz run into each other. Dominguez holds on to make the play. And Jazz is down.
You saw that coming because Jazz was not peeling off, which means Dominguez really didn't let him know that he had it. Dominguez, if he can get to the ball coming forward, it's his play, but you still have to let the second baseman know it.
So they slide into his knee. McGonigal does, and now his own player runs into him. Been a rough inning for Jazz Chisholm Jr. It has been a nightmarish start to this game for the Yanks. Ryan Weathers last just an inning and 2/3, and the Tigers just keep on keeping on.
And we'll see a replay here soon, I'm sure. And you're just going to have to look at Dominguez, whether he was screaming, I got it, to get Jazz out of the way. Then it looked like a forearm went right to his forehead.
Tim Lentic, the athletic trainer, tending the Jazz.
These are the plays that, they just happen. And then the next day you wake up and it's, your neck sore, your head sore, your knees sore from the play before. And the good news is Jazz is sitting up. See if he stays in the game.
Looks like he's going to try to stand now. He's still having some difficulty. Boone is signaling to the dugout to have a player come out. That's going to be Oswaldo Cabrera. And Jazz going to leave the game. So bad night just keeps getting worse. Yeah, it looks like the inside of Dominguez's elbow got Jazz on the chin.
You don't see Dominguez calling the ball, which is a mistake in itself. But obviously, if you can get to the ball as a right fielder, you want to take it going towards the plate. But again, you have to let the second baseman know to get out of the way. Yeah, that elbow right to the chin.
The Jazz is out of the game. The Yankees go to the bullpen. They're going to bring on Tim Hill. Another look. So Jazz has left the game. Cabrera coming in. Tim Hill's coming in as well. Bad night for the Yankees here on this Monday evening in the Bronx. Who deals inside to Carpenter. We talked about this when they pinch hit Carpenter in the second, that they'd be bringing in lefties to face him the rest of the way. Cabrera takes over at second for Jazz, and Meredith will be checking out exactly what the story is with Jazz. You hope that he's just shaken up, Paul, and that he's not really hurt.
Yeah. Hopefully he just got his bell rung. He got hit right in the chin. You saw him playing with his ears. Ears probably ringing. It's not a fun place to be.
2-1 on Carpenter.
You can watch that elbow right to the chin. This was all caused because, Jazz playing in had to go back a little bit farther. This ball is hammered to right field. Good play by Dominguez.
Really nice play. Now he runs into the wall, and let's see if he's okay. Remember, he got hurt running into the wall in left field. That he is slow getting up, and Spencer Jones comes over, and now he's holding his side. Wow. Just wow. 7-0 Tigers on the Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard. Take another look at this play by Dominguez.
The ball's hit hard. It just looks like his elbow got tucked in and just banged against his ribs. Every once in a while, you figure out as an outfielder that the wall's there to kind of save you from going in the stands. I think Dominguez sometimes forgets about the wall and just hammers it.
And Dominguez is so strong, built like a fullback, that when he runs into the wall, he's running in hard with a lot of force. One and two.
Looked like that elbow kind of banged into his ribs there. Ribs are kind of a sore subject this year with Aaron Judge being on the bench. Huh?
2-2 on Bellinger. Bellinger, Goldschmidt, and Chisholm against Casey Mize. Yankees have just one hit, a double by Jones in the third. Tigers have 9 hits and 7 runs. Now, I said it's Bellinger, Goldschmidt, and Chisholm. Obviously, it's Bellinger, Goldschmidt, and now Oswaldo Cabrera. Right side, Lee. One away. Goldschmidt struck out in the first inning against Mize. One and 0. The old slurve drops in there. One and two. Soft ground ball. McKinstry. 2 away. Let's check out what Mize is all about with pitching decisions presented by Sage.
Well, he knows how to pitch. I mean, you see his sub-3 ERA as a starting pitcher at All-Star last year. He's got the ball going both ways. Good sinker away. A tough guy to give a 7-run lead to and get back in the game because he knows how to pitch.
There's Oswaldo Cabrera. And a strike. One at bat for Jazz. He struck out in the second. Cabrera was 0 for 3. He started yesterday against the Red Sox. There's a strike. Yankees lost that game in 10 innings. They came back against Chapman in the 9th. Then took a lead in the top of the 10th, but Red Sox scored 3 and won the game 5-4. The 0-2. Good sign. Dominguez is on the on-deck circle. Tremendous comeback story by Cabrera. Broke his ankle in Seattle in May of last year. Worked his way back from that horrific injury and back in the big leagues. Kind of guy who lights up a clubhouse. Everybody likes him. Has a kind word for everybody, a big smile. Just loves being in the big leagues. And after the injury, probably appreciates it even more. Strike 3, Cabrera down looking. So 1-2-3 inning. for Casey Mize. We're going to the fifth. It's 7-0 Detroit. Time for the Optimum Fiber Famously Fast replay. And a great play by McKinstry, taking a base hit away from Anthony Volpe. McKinstry with a ground ball to Cabrera. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the fifth. And that'll bring up Ben Malgeri. And Jake Berg got called up today to replace David Bednar on the paternity list. He's up throwing. Grounded to first. Nice backhand stabbed out by Goldschmidt. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Well, Tim Hill's not going to change his view on pitching, whether it's 7-0 or 7-7. Sinkers down the middle. Try to hit it through the infield. Beat it in the ground. Let's get some quick outs.
Now, in the old days, this guy would get fined if he didn't take a pitch. We'll see if it's the old days.
These are the good old days. Isn't that what Carly Simon said?
Mm-hmm. You believe it?
Yes. Not that they go by so fast. I do.
And he takes a strike. High fly ball coming on Dominguez. 5 pitches, 3 outs. We're halfway through. Brought to you in part by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees, and by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Audi scoreboard, 7-0 Tigers. We start the bottom of the fifth. Yankees have 1 hit through 4. Jason Dominguez takes a pitch low from Casey Mize as we start the bottom of the inning. Dominguez fouled out to McGonigal at third. That was in the second. That one just clipped the outside corner, but Dominguez doesn't think so. He's going to challenge that pitch. He thought it was a ball. It is right. Ripped down the right field line. Val, do you think you would have been good at ABS?
You know what? I knew the outside corner much more than I knew the inside corner. Because back when I played, most lefties wanted to get you away, and righties wanted to sink a ball. But inside, once in a while, when you're covering that ball away, you can kind of lose track of the inside corner, but not the outside corner. I would say that 9 out of 10 challenges I would use would be pitches outside.
All right, so that's called ball 3, and that's going to be challenged by Dingler. And he's right. Not a good at bat for Alfonso Marquez.
Marquez having a tough at bat here.
There's no way that doesn't chap you if you're an O.
I agree. I especially when like the catcher does it, and then he's got to go right back to being your best friend after he just embarrassed you in front of 50,000 people.
And those were not missed by a lot.
Right.
Those were really close. Third base side, McGonigal gives it a look, but it's in the seats.
Every once in a while, you look out on a baseball field and it reminds you where baseball was and where it's gone. And if you look at Mize, we talked about he's got a 2.76 ERA. You're not throwing 99 to 100, but, you know, he's throwing strikes. He's in, he's out, he's up, he's down. it's just kind of the art of pitching where, the majority of pitchers now are throw it as hard as I can and spin it as much as I can, and hopefully I can strike you out.
3-2. The Yankees have had one base runner, a leadoff double by Jones in the third. Lofted into right center field. And the catch is made by Outman. One down.
So, Michael, when we do series, I'm looking at the Tigers, old franchise, Yankees, old franchise, and I always like to find out neat things. So back in 1936 was the first year, the inaugural year for the Hall of Fame, right?
Mm-hmm.
First two players, Ty Cobb from the Tigers, Babe Ruth from the Yankees. Ty Cobb got more votes than Babe Ruth.
High fly ball. And the catch is made by McKinstry to retire Volpe. And Ty was not the
most liked
guy in the world either.
No. And he also had Hannes Wagner, Christy Mathewson, Walter Johnson. It's a pretty legendary first class.
Not too bad. Good way to start out a Hall of Fame. Spencer Jones takes upstairs. As great a player as Ty Cobb was, a better businessman because he's from Atlanta and he got in early on Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And when he passed away, he was a multi-millionaire.
You want to hear something crazy, and it's going to be now or next inning? It's going to be next inning. All right. Just keep that Coca-Cola and Ty Cobb thing on your mind, folks.
All right, we'll tie it all together. Kyle Schwarber, first major league player to 30 home runs this season. So he is at 370. So if he finishes with 60 this year, he's at 400. Sale has been pitching great. Nobody can stop Junior Caminero. Tampa Bay has won 5 straight, and he has 7 home runs in the last 6 games. New pitcher is Jake Bird for the Yanks. It'll be the top of the Tigers' order, so first strike taken by Vierling. And he goes around, said Mike Estabrook.
Michael, I got to finish my story here. I forgot all
Yes,
just
Coca-Cola and Ty Cobb.
Coca-Cola. So my uncle, Clark O'Neill, was a pallbearer for Ty Cobb. He was with Coca-Cola in Atlanta, Georgia, became dear friends with him. Ty Cobb, they actually still have a bat signed to Clark O'Neill, who was my dad's brother, obviously. But that's how the whole Coca-Cola thing came to be, kind of. And it's amazing how these kind of things come up, and it's like, what do you mean he was a pallbearer for Ty Cobb? Yeah, well, he was a friend at Coca-Cola's with Ty Cobb.
Well, his baseball career, very obvious, 4,191 hits. That stood until Pete Rose broke it. A lot of runs scored till Ricky, 12-time batting champion. 366 career batting average, 400 more average in 3 seasons. The Georgia Peach. Now, did you talk to Uncle Clark about Ty?
Numerous times, but I was too young to really understand. I'm like, well, that's cool. He's got a bat from Ty Cobb. I mean,
Right.
I knew the name, obviously, but now that I look back, I'm like, it's pretty cool stuff. You know, what really caught my attention, though, we would go visit them down in Atlanta, Georgia, and he had a Coca-Cola draft, like you could get pop whenever
in the
you
house.
wanted. In the house. I mean, that was cooler than the Ty Cobb bat when you're 6, 7 years old, right?
Did little Paul partake in a lot of Coca-Cola?
Yeah, every time Mom and Dad turned their back, I had another one.
And down goes Dingler. I just got the greatest text
Here we go.
from Jack Curry.
All right. He wants to do another book.
He said, boy, if I ever wrote a book with Paul, would I have loved to have that Clark O'Neal story?
You know what? Sometimes it takes a 7-0 game for these that come out of the cobwebs. Jack, he didn't lure me in there. I was always so, whoa.
That goes all the way to the backstop.
Just tugged a breaking ball right up the back foot.
So I guess he's saying that he got hit, right? Yeah.
Detroit's challenging the call of no hit by pitch.
Well, McGonigal is pretty certain that he got hit because he's taking off all of his gear.
Well, there's no faking that. If you get hit in the foot or the toe, you flat out say, I got hit. Watch that back foot. And that ball hit him.
Now, if you were hitting well, would you take first base if they didn't call it immediately? Would you say, hey, I got hit?
I mean, once you tell the umpire, yeah, it hit me, which is kind of natural, then it's hard to say, nah, it didn't hit me. I'm good. Believe me, if Randy Johnson's pitching, I'm running to first. If, righty's pitching that I think I can really handle, I might think about it.
So, this is under review.
After review, the call is overturned. The batter was hit by the pitch, and Detroit will retain their challenge.
So McGonigal hit by pitch. He's been on base 3 times, 4 times at the plate. And here's Torkelson. And a strike. Sixth inning, Detroit 7, Yankees nothing. Grounded foul. And that's tipped into the glove of Wells as Torkelson strikes out. Tiger strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. By Tunnel to Towers, donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. And by Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. A pretty good second baseman right there. Austin Wells will lead off the bottom of the 6th. And he fouls off the first pitch. Monitor Einstein scoreboard. A Detroit 7, New York nothing. Yankees 1 base runner, the Jones double leading off the 3rd.
A lot of times, Michael, I looked at those clips in between innings of comparing the two cities. Motown, when you look at music, Motown's kind of hard to top, right? Mm-hmm. Although, I understand that what the Bronx was hip-hop and all the good stuff here in New York, but Motown is Motown, right?
Pretty special stuff. Still resonates. And that's going to be challenged by Wells.
Calls a strike, and the batter is challenging.
Yeah, the ball looked like it went around the plate. We'll see if it got to the outside corner.
Calls overturned.
It's a good challenge for Wells. Both teams have been very good at challenging. They both still have their 2 challenges remaining.
We like 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 tonight, huh?
Definitely 5 for 5, I think. And he goes down swinging. Well, let's take a deeper look on Casey Mize. The leader is brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. He's 6th in the American League in ERA, 6th in home runs allowed, and 10th in strikeouts to walk. That's with pitchers with a minimum of 50 innings pitched. He's a pretty good pitcher, going right to the Hall of Fame. 2 pretty good ones. Verlander started once this year, and injuries have just derailed him. And Tarek Skubal had a scope, and he's gotten back in a hurry, and he's going to start tomorrow against Cam Slitler. Pretty good matchup. Swing and a miss. That'll bring up Ben Rice. Let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Ben hits 1 or more home runs, plus 550.
These are the at-bats. If you're Ben Rice, Cody Bellinger, guys that, need to kind of change their luck to really, just get into your hitting mechanics right now. Really, really concentrate on these at-bats. Try to take something in to your next at-bat or even into tomorrow.
Yankees hoping to get back Grisham this week. No timetable on Judge. An announced crowd of 40,506 here in the Bronx. Tonight's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Could play in a rehab game as early as tomorrow. Could be back as early as Wednesday or maybe Friday. But he is expected to return this homestand. And he was on fire when he went down. He was really hitting. Hitting earlier.
He's a little mad, VP. He's got the Germany World Cup and they lost, right? Paraguay.
Swing and a miss. Mize strikes out in the side. He has 8 strikeouts and no walks. I was trying to name that Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. Started with the Pirates in '66, played with the Yankees from '68 to '74, and finished with the Tigers in '75.
I know this one, Michael.
You do?
I do. He had a lot to do with my career, by the way.
Wow. Did he really? Board scoreboard 7-0 Detroit over the Yankees. Bird in for his 2nd inning of work. Worked a scoreless 6th. Lee, Carpenter, and McKinstry. Soft ground ball. Charging is Volpe. 1 pitch, 1 out. After you get swept in Boston in a 4-game set, how do you reconcile a performance like this? Because, listen, you're going to lose games, but this has been sloppy. Yeah. They have not hit. Mize is good, but he's certainly, not Skubal. So how do you reconcile this?
Well, you start going day by day, at bat by at bat. It's not a series anymore. You need to change things. This was just a flat-out ugly game to this point right now, where you kind of close the book and look forward to tomorrow.
Well, Yankee fans, fireworks night is back again this season. Kick off your 4th of July weekend at Yankee Stadium this Friday, July 3rd, and stay after the game for a post-game fireworks show courtesy of Baby Ruth. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com. Ryan Yarbrough will take over for the Yankees, their 5th pitcher. The starter, Ryan Weathers, lasted just an inning and 2/3. And here's Carpenter with 1 out. Foul back. Yankee season's been a roller coaster. They started off well, little slumps, then great, then another slump, then great, and now 2-7 in their last 9. 1-2. And while they're in this little tailspin, Tampa Bay's winning, so they've taken over first place in the American League East from the Yanks. And boy, that 4-game set that starts next Monday in St. Pete looms very, very large. That one just missed.
I think Tampa Bay went from 1-5 in a row at this point.
This is what the AL East looks like. So 2 games in the loss column, 1 game behind. Blue Jays have lost 6 in a row coming into tonight against the Mets and the Orioles and the Red Sox.
Austin Wells thought he had it. I mean, all of a sudden you start looking at the scoreboard and you think the plate might get a little bigger.
Help America's Heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. Now the Rays are off tonight. Then they have 3 at Kansas City and 3 at Houston. And Carpenter works a walk. And here's McKinstry. Now, when a team is in a slide like this, is there anything players can do? Is there anything a manager can do? Or it's just got to happen organically?
Well, I think the team, you can start picking each other's brains as far as where you feel, what you see. But as far as manager, slamming the door and screaming and yelling, no, it's not going to have much of an effect at a point of the year where you're going through a tough time. Now, if you're going through a tough time and you're not putting forth the effort, yeah, you might be called upon it. But, like I said, the Boston series was bad. Last night was a bad game. They fought back to get the lead and then ended up giving up. And then you just kind of walked into a total flop today. And that usually starts with starting pitching, which it did. But there are some games I don't think bother managers as much as other. This is one of those games where I think Aaron Boone just flat out says it was just a bad night.
But is it a game that should bother him? Because the defense has really taken a turn for the worse, and the defense has not been good tonight.
Yeah, I think that's kind of compounding day after day, that all of a sudden you start getting it in your head that, you're not playing good, you're not playing good defense. And I told Meredith before the game started on her show that then it starts putting a lot of pressure on the pitchers, knowing if they give up any runs or even have base runners, that they have a chance of having a big inning.
2-2 on McKinstry. Runner on first, one man out. We're in the 7th, 7-0 Tigers. That one just missed, so 3-2. The offense has labored lately, hitting 182 over the last 9 games. Slugging just 297, and not going to win many games going 2.6 runs per game. That one is looped and just past the dive of Cabrera into right field. A base hit for McKinstry as Carpenter moves to second.
What a jam shot. Look at that parachute on it. Stayed up there a long time. Cabrera not able to get over to get it. How close he came.
So here's Malgeri, first and second. One man out here in the 7th. 10th hit for the Tigers. Yankees have just one. 0-1.
Funny when you go through streaks like this. You know, like I said a week ago, 10 days ago, we were just saying how great this team was playing. Situational hitting was good. Pitching looked so good that they're going to be in the game every night. And you never see yourself get back to this point. And then all of a sudden, how do you get back out of it? And that's what the Yankees are going through right now.
Bellinger runs that one down for the second out.
And Cody Bellinger, we've said it so many times on how good an outfielder he was, and you were almost surprised earlier when he didn't catch the ball at the wall, just because he has such awareness of where his body is. It makes plays look a lot easier than they are.
Here's James Outman. Foul back to the screen. To tell you how quickly it turns, Paul, the last time Schlittler pitched, he's going to pitch tomorrow, but he pitched on Thursday, right? The Yankees were on pace for 98 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And things could change in a hurry. Outman 1 for 3 tonight.
You know, you don't even care what the final score is at this point. It's 20-0, 7-0, whatever it is. You have to know that when you come out here tomorrow, you can't wait to see what's going to happen. You have to expect to win. And if you take that every single day, then you don't go through these long streaks.
Good challenge there by Wells.
Overturned strike 3.
It has not been a good night for Alfonso Marquez. For the Tigers, no runs, a hit. 2 men left at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Detroit leads New York by a score of 7-0, but we'll stay right here as we honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you rise? Remove your caps, and please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. United States Air Force Colonel Dr. Benjamin Perez from New York City, who served from 1971 to 2001. The Yankees say thank you, Benjamin, for your sacrifice and for your service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her the mountains, to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Tigers 0-1-2 for the Yankees, and those numbers tell the story. The words, you can interpret them whichever way you like. One hit against Casey Mize, one base runner. And Bellinger tries to bunt and fouls it back to the screen.
I don't think they give him a base hit. He thought, what the heck? I'll lead off with an easy drag bunt. Not able to get it down.
So Drew Summers getting ready. So 5 of the 7 runs that the Tigers have scored unearned. 2-1. Three and 1 on Bellinger. Yankees need base runners. They're down by 7. Bottom of the 7th inning, 7-10-0, leading 0-1-2. Popped up. McGonigal in foul territory near the seats, leans and makes the play. 1 down. Fans, when you get Gotham, you can stream live games and exclusive Yankees content. Download the Gotham Sports app to get highlights, features, podcasts, original series, and so much more. And if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Gotham Sports app for free. So download and sign in today. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. And a strike. Goldschmidt, a strikeout and a ground ball. Oh, and 2. 8 strikeouts, no walks, 4 3-ball counts. First pitch strikes 15 of 21.
Well, you really saw how that first strike pitch came into play last night in Sonny Gray. It's the key to pitching, getting ahead early, putting the pressure on the hitters.
2-2. And down goes Goldschmidt. 9th strikeout for Mize.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Mize has even broke a sweat here. If that's a changeup or a two-seamer kind of running back in under his hands. It looked off speed, but it didn't look like a changeup grip.
Here's Oswaldo Cabrera. 0-1. Struck out looking in the 4th. He took over for Jazz Chisholm, who left the game after running into Jason Dominguez as they were going after a shallow fly ball to right. Dominguez caught the ball, but his elbow also caught Chisholm in the side of the head. Stayed down for a while, sat up, got to his knee, and then they decided to take him out. And we'll have more information on the postgame. Strike 3, and he's challenging.
Calls a strike. The batter is challenging.
So Cabrera will challenge the called 3rd strike.
Call is confirmed. New York has 1 challenge in
strike zone. So 10 strikeouts from Mize over 7 innings. Just 1 base runner, 1 hit. He has not walked a batter. the 8th inning, and it's time to name that Yankee. Paul, you said this guy really impacted your career.
Yeah, Gene Stick Michael, who kind of put together that team that went on to do wonderful things in the late 90s and the 2000s.
Let's go in the vault. Old number 17.
That's the old Oakland Athletics unis, too.
And that's the old Yankee Stadium. Gene was a manager, a GM. He did it all for the Yankees in the organization. And he traded Roberto Kelly for Paul O'Neill. He saw something that
nobody else in the world. I get it.
Well, he couldn't have been more right. Only person to serve as player, scout, manager, and GM with the Yankees, architect of the 90s dynasty, and he spent 2 stints as the Yankee manager.
Now, truth be known, I think that Mr. Steinbrenner trusted Gene Michael's decision on true baseball decisions than anybody else.
You know, it's funny you said that. I was about to actually say the same thing. I think he trusted him more than anybody who ever worked for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Doval goes 1-2 on Vierling. Top of the Tigers order. That's a 6th Yankee pitcher, and that's what happens when your starter goes an inning and 2/3. A very unusual outing for Weathers, who's pitched quite well all year. Grounded foul outside of third. First game of this 3-game set. Thursday's an off day, and then the Twins come to town for this 7-day, 6-game homestand. Swing and a miss. Vierling down on strikes. 1 away here in the 8th. And here's Dylan Dingler. An amazing 3rd season for Dingler, having his best offensive output. 27 years old. Now Meredith has an update on Jazz Chisholm. Meredith?
Michael, as we know, he was removed from tonight's game after that nasty collision with Jason Dominguez. He was examined by Yankees team doctor Christopher Ahmad, and he is currently going through concussion protocol. So perhaps we'll know a little bit more in the postgame, if not in the postgame tomorrow.
And here's the injury that Meredith is updating us on. 4th inning. Wow. A lot of contact. 1-2. It's the hardest you ever got hit in the outfield trying to get a ball.
Believe it or not, I was just thinking of the same thing. I rolled over and caught a ball and smacked the back of my head on the ground. And I literally, to this day, can remember looking. I was turned around, was looking towards the stands. I didn't know where I was. So I did it myself. I didn't get hit by anybody else.
Is that Yankee or Red?
Yeah, I was here.
Yeah. Did you ever run into anybody in the outfield?
Yeah, Eric Davis was such a great outfielder, and Bernie Williams, both of them I played with day after day, but every once in a while you would get a guy that you didn't know, and you would, it just makes it so much more difficult because your communication is not the same.
And after a while, as you were getting older, you just drew a line and said, Bernie, get everything up to here.
Had a little square out there, Bernie. You like to run, just keep running.
Swing and a miss. Good slider. And that'll bring up McGonigal. Let's take a look at all of his hits on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud. So he uses the whole field, Paul.
Yeah, we've seen him in his first couple at bats. Saw him poke one to left, saw him pull a ball. So, you know, this is not surprising. And that's why guys like this are so difficult to pitch to, because they'll hit the ball away, pull the breaking ball in.
The thing that's amazing about him, you see a guy like McGonigal makes the big leagues early, 21 years old, and actually is thriving. And you go, well, you know what? Top of the first round, that's the kind of player. He was a 37th pick in the first round. He was not the first or second or third pick. 37th pick. And wow. And then the Tigers saw it right away, and they signed him to that long-term deal that you mentioned. Scouts grade you from a 20 to 80 scale, 80 being the best. His hit tool is considered an 80.
Yeah, if you watch him from the side, I mean, his head doesn't move. His body's locked in. He trusts his hands to get to things. He's not jumping around a lot. But a good pitch right there, the changeup.
It's a good inning for Doval as he strikes out the side. Tigers go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-0 Detroit. Well, the Yankees return to Prime tomorrow to take on the Tigers. Don't miss a minute of the Yankees beginning at 6:30 only on Prime. And what a pitching matchup, a prime time pitching matchup. Two of the best pitchers in the game. Tarek Skubal and Cam Schlittler. Look at the ERA on Schlittler, 1.62, 118 strikeouts in 100 innings, just 20 walks. Drew Summers comes on in relief of Casey Mize, and the Yankees probably think, thank you. So Dominguez will spin around to the right side against the left-hander. It's hard not to be impressed by Mize. I don't know how much of it is the Yankees struggling offensively, but one batter over the limit, 10 strikeouts, no walks, just one hit.
Yeah, that's the thing. No walks, a lot of first pitch strikes, had control of all of his pitches. And then, after the big 4-run second inning, and then they add a couple more, he just pitched to the scoreboard. You're going to beat me. And then the Yankees offense kind of struggling right now. Great night for him.
And the only hit was off the end of the bat by Jones and found the grass in the outfield, got himself a double. Now we're excited because if you love the game, you love a great pitching matchup. And Meredith, you spoke to Cam Schlittler about this matchup against Skubal.
Well, Michael, he understands why people are excited for the matchup. Two of the best pitchers in baseball going head-to-head, but Cam said he knows he's not necessarily facing just Skubal. He's facing the Tigers lineup, so he kind of approaches it that way. Once the game starts, he is to get out those Tigers hitters. As far as Tarek Skubal is concerned, he was asked about Cam Schlittler, and he said from what he has seen from afar, he has been beyond impressed in his young career. He said the way he goes out there and dominates, the way he works, he has a feeling that he and Cam would get along very well, probably works as hard as Tarek Skubal does, so nothing but praise from Skubal in regards to Cam Schlittler. Now, Skubal coming off of that surgery, and speaking to A.J. Hinch earlier today, he said his stuff is as good as it was before the surgery. The velocity is still there. One thing they have noticed, his changeup at times, he is not able to spot quite as good as he did in 2025. There's a little bit more slug against that pitch in particular, and it was Jason Dominguez who homered off of a Skubal change in Detroit. Also, Paul Goldschmidt homering twice in that one in Detroit, Michael.
Outman makes the play as Vierling got out of the way to retire Volpe.
Yeah, we had just gone over communication, Michael, and you'll see he's got nope, center fielder called, I'm out of the way. It's just the way it is. Shortstop in the infield, center fielder in the outfield.
Now, Paul, if you want to A telling stat to tell you how much the Yankees offense has been non-existent, all right? They have 10 hits over the last 4 games. And now they have 11 as Spencer Jones picks up another hit. It'll be his second extra base hit as Dominguez smartly stops at third. So they have 11 hits over the last 4 games. The fewest hits they've ever had in a 4-game span in franchise history is 12.
Wow, they better get hot here. I mean, when you start talking about that, then it really does give a perspective of why they're not scoring runs. They're not putting the ball in play. They're not putting the ball in play with runners in scoring position.
So they will pinch hit for Wells with Rosario. And a quick trip to the mound by Chris Fetter. Joey Cora putting up numbers and telling the Tigers where to play defensively. Now, just to build on that stat again, the 12 was over a 3-game span in 1914 and the first game in 1915. The fewest in a 4-game span in a single season is 13, and that was done twice in 1914 and 1926. So here is Rosario pinch hitting for Wells. Yankees desperately seeking something offensively. The infield's back. They'll give up a run on a ground ball, but the Yankees need more than that. Missed outside from Summers. Rosario broke up the no-hitter against Sonny Gray yesterday. And strangely, although he's been a great hitter against left-handed pitching, this year he's been better against righty pitching than lefty pitching. Lefty on the mound here in Summers. 1-2. Very odd numbers to interpret. It's hard to actually understand because he's a .296 lifetime hitter against left-handed pitching. 1-2. Just missed. Fouled away. Driven deep to left field. Backing up Veerling. He's on the track at the wall. See ya. Just over the wall. A pinch hit. 3-run home run. For Rosario, the Yankees on the board at 7-3.
That's why you keep playing the game, Michael. You get some runners on, you get a pinch hit from Rosario and a big 3-run homer. Now all of a sudden your mind starts spinning. Well, maybe we got a little rally for a couple more innings here. Well, that'll add to those left-handed numbers, huh?
Yep. Coming off the bench, a 3-run home run. Here's Caballero. He waves through that pitch, 0-1.
Well, he knew it right off the bat, and then maybe I didn't get it high enough, but yep, hit the seats. The changeup kind of didn't have much movement down and away. Rosario right on it. See how he just opens those hips, but his shoulders kind of stay closed where he can just And a buggy whip some stuff out of here. Hips fly open, but the shoulders kind of stay square, which allows him to really get the bat head out in front.
Two and two on Caballero. Look at that little kid with a nice catch. Wow.
The guy brought his glove for a reason, huh?
That was outstanding. And Caballero swings and misses for the second out of the eighth. That's pretty amazing. I mean, a little kid.
Kind of hit by the wall right there and still grabbed it.
Think he's happy?
Didn't even know that he had that vertical up every stair.
He is floating. Here's Ben Rice.
Oh, his phone's going to be blowing up, right?
Oh, 1 on Rice. Rice 0 for 3 tonight. And he's 4 for his last 38. One and 2 on Ben. Swing and a miss. And that'll do it for the Yankees in the eighth. But the offense comes alive with a 3-run pinch hit home run by Ahmed Rosario. Great catch by a kid. Great moment for the Yankees who've been struggling. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. And by the New York Lottery. Play today and start imagining your win. 7-3. Detroit over the Yankees. Yankees get to Drew Summers after doing nothing against Casey Mize. An inning left, and Brent Hedrick will be the 7th Yankee pitcher today. And Spencer Torkelson will lead it off. Did he go? Yes, he did. Ali Sanchez takes over behind the plate. Oh and 2. Lined right at Caballero. 1 away.
Well, that had a sound like it was really hit hard, but it was kind of a looping line drive.
I wonder if that broke the bat.
Yeah, it sounded weird, like it went off the, I mean, it sounded like it was hammered, but then it had a little loop to it, like it was hit off the end of the bat, but didn't break it.
Hao-Yu Lee steps in. 2 for 4. 1-0. Nubbed in front of the plate. Sanchez says, I have it, and he does. 2 down. All of the Tiger hits today, there's 10 of them. Exit velocity presented by Spectrum. And they haven't really killed it, Paul. It's just 91.4 off the bat average. But they find grass.
Yeah, there's a lot of direction there, too. A lot of balls hit right center, left center, just especially early in the game against Weathers.
Carpenter swings and misses through a slider. Left center field, long run for Bellinger. He can't get there. And it bounces into the bullpen for a double for Carpenter.
Well, Carpenter hit this ball good. Cody Bellinger just on a dead run. And sometimes as an outfielder, you have to actually just take your eye off the baseball to try to get to that spot, but not able to do it.
Well, fans, the next Yankees game on Yes is Wednesday afternoon as the Bronx Bombers and Tigers wrap up this 3-game set at the stadium. Coverage starts at 1 with first pitch scheduled for shortly after 1:30 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Here's Zach McKinstry. Foul back over the screen, 0-1. That one is looped into shallow left field. Volpe is there to make the play, and that'll do it. No runs a hit, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Yankees down by 4. After Yankees coverage, stay tuned for a new edition of Sportico Sports Business and catch an exclusive interview with the CEO of Liberty Media. That is Derek Chang, as he discusses the promotion of F1 and MotoGP. That's tonight after we wrap up Yankees coverage right here on Yes and the Gotham Sports app.
Old Ben Franklin's on the $100 bill. Huh? Looking at you there.
Drew Anderson will try to get the final 3 outs. The Yankees, who have been in offensive slumber for it seems like a while now, finally wake up with the 3-run pinch hit home run by Rosario, but still a long way to go. They're down by 4 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bellinger will start it off. Cody's 0 for 3 tonight. Last 11 games, Cody is 5 for 40. And he doesn't have an RBI in those games. One and one. Big cut, 1-2. Strike 3. A tough night for Bellinger continues. He's 0 for 4. Fans, stay tuned for tonight's WB Mason Yankees postgame as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry are in the studio with highlights and analysis. Meredith Barakovitz gets player interviews in the clubhouse. And we'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. That's all coming up next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Here's Goldschmidt. Oh and 1. Ground ball, McKinstry. And the Yankees are down to their final out. Now, the Yankee bullpen did what it could today. They got 22 outs, 7 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. So, a rough outing for Weathers. And again, the Yankee offense at this point, just 3 hits. So they have 12 hits over their last 4 games, 3 in each game. And that one is into center field, and that will do it. One highlight in this game for the Yankees, the pinch hit 3-run home run by Rosario. The offense continues to struggle, and this is the first time in franchise history in one season where they've had 3 hits or fewer in 4 consecutive games. And it's tough, Paul, because you know Tarek Skubal's tomorrow.
Well, it's not getting any easier, but the Yankees got to bounce back. You know, can't look in the mirror and think that somebody's going to feel sorry for you. you're in a good spot where you are in the American League East. You got to get things going, though. I mean, you're here at home against teams that you should beat. But when you should beat teams, you still got to play good baseball.
7-11-0, beating 3-3-2. Skubal lurks tomorrow against Cam Slittler. We'll be back. Lose their 5th straight. We'll take a look at the game-changing drives of the game, brought to you by Audi and the all-new Audi Q3.
Wow, rookie sensation Kevin McGonigal, a single here in the 2nd, and then a 2-run single, little poke to left field. You can see a great future. That's your game-changing drives.
Well, this one shouldn't be tough, Paul. Who's the Chevy player of the game?
Casey Mize, he got a lead, and he knew how to pitch to it. 7 innings. Only gave up 1 hit to the Yankees, and he had 10 strikeouts. Definitely your player of the game.
Well, the Tigers 7 runs on 11 hits. The Yankees 3-3-2. Time of the game 2:41. Mize the win. Weathers took the loss. Mize won 7. Weathers lasted just 2 outs into the 2nd. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and the executive producer of the Yes Network, Mr. Jared Ames Boschnack. Join us again tomorrow when the Yankees continue this series against the Tigers here at the stadium. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. on Yes, and pregame coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. on Prime, with first pitch coming shortly after 7. Once again, the final score, the Detroit Tigers 7, the New York Yankees 3. For Paul O'Neill and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael Kay saying see ya from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Now let's go to Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry, who are standing by in our Yes Network studios with the post-game show. Guys?